how Coast managed that one. First one off the bat, I think you guys talked about it. The Ziggs coming through was very big. Jat talked about it as a team fight comp. I think it was the fact that they could hold on and just wait for Zion to show up and carry fights.
Yeah, exactly. I think Ziggs is a really good champion for Coast just because it has amazing wave clear, has really long range follow-up, and it also has a good, I don't want to say disengage, but counter-engage when that Nocturne goes in. So just having those tools allows Coast to use Zion to just bully anybody in the map and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, Ziggs is an all-around strong champion just because the amount of raw damage that he can put out. Damage to minions, towers, champions, whatever you need. He puts out a lot of numbers, and Shifter can do that from the mid lane. You saw him wave clear down bottom, using the ulti. He was even pushing by himself, taking down turrets. It's an all-around good pickup for them.
Yeah, and Zion's partnered twice in a row now on Aurelia. The Jax being banned away, not allowed to play that, but finding another hyper-mobile, get to the back line, high-damage frontliner, like, as long as there's a champion there for Zion, it feels like he has that impact for his team.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aurelia serves almost the same purpose as Jax does. She might not scale as well in the late game, but I think her early game spikes much harder when she hits that Triforce. She's almost like an assassin how he played her. He'd find a target, Q into them, and just pick them off with a stun, and then just go to the other side of the map.
Yeah, so is that something? Go ahead.
The other thing I want to tack on to, or I finished with Zion here, because I'm going into Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do one more Zion point then. So is that a champ that you can shut down? I mean, Aurelia has no innate escapes. She has tenacity, but like Jax can jump to a ward and peace out. Like, I feel like if you actually put some pressure on Aurelia, you can remove half of Coast, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put pressure on her with the jungle, and with the way that Crumbs is playing, where he's going that really farm heavy, and he's not even investing his ultimates into shutting down Zion, so he basically gets to do whatever he wants to do. And that game was a lot different with how Nintendo and Coast played, because they moved around as a team, they took a lot of turrets, and they looked a lot more organized with that. So I think ganking Zion's not going to work.
Yes, that's a perfect transition. Now
Yes.
I can make my Nintendo point.
There we go.
I think Nintendo played with Zion very well because he knows that he's got a strong top laner, and as a jungler, you always want to gravitate towards the side of the map where your laners can support you best. He was able to get a blue buff steal because Zion was so strong and Zion had chased off Cruiser. That blue buff seal actually caused Crumbs to try and go answer it, and that's where they got a pretty big lead. They were able to cut off Crumbs, and they actually took him down for first blood, enabling them to get a good lead in the game.
Yeah, so actually that lead snowballed farther and farther throughout the game. It seemed like Coast was always in control. We actually have a replay of a 25-minute mid lane fight where Dignitas just kind of initiate in, seemingly out of nowhere, if we can get that replay up on your screen. And you pointed out that it was a dive onto an Elise, which was actually kind of a mistake.
Yeah, it's really weird using your engage to go on Elise, who can repel, and she's also building, of course, a little bit tankier with the Ancient Golem. I thought he was going to go in on Shifter when I saw him going in, but instead, like, even Shifter looks confused. He's like, oh, all right, I guess I'll just drop my Mega Inferno Bomb on you and then just hit you with all of our counter engage and just melt you. And they just cleaned it up from there. Like, Wiz Fusion's just chasing everybody down. Lucian's amazing for chasing. You have the culling and you have your dash. And Scar does hit a good ultimate here, but it's a little bit just too late.
Yeah, the team wasn't even actually all the way there. I never even saw PewDiePie get into the fight. His ulti went down, but he didn't get to do much else. And that was a Draven who cashed in a 660 gold passive stack and ended the game 1-0-0.
Yeah, it just looked like really preemptive engages. They're just getting happy on the trigger finger. So I think they just need to relax a little bit and pick better fights.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you see a lot of the teams who decide to funnel their money into AD carry instead of a solo laner end up having a really tough time towards that mid game. The teams that are funneling all that solo farm into solo laners, like Aurelia or something like that, usually have a lot stronger mid game fights.
Okay, so then another player we talked about was Skara. We asked, what was his champion pool after Nidalee, after Karthus? He went for Orianna, and it seemed like it was a pretty low-impact champion for him.
You could say that.
You were talking
I feel
about
like you're holding something back.
You were
Shane.
talking
This is
about your
unlike you.
experience on him with All Stars or something.
No, not really like an All-Stars experience or anything like that. It's no, Scar's tried to play Orianna multiple times in the past, and it pretty much looks like what you guys just saw every single time. So I don't think you're going to see that one making a return. Karthus and Nidalee banned out. I'm actually really curious what he'll play. Maybe he'll default to Zed. But of course, Crumbs would have to play like an AP jungle, and they'd have to shift around their lanes a little bit. So, don't know.
All right, so play
Veigar?
Yeah.
Dude, Veigar would be fun to watch. I mean,
Where-
you get the chance to one-shot like an Ahri or something.
Yeah, wasn't Scar going off about Veigar like halfway through the split?
Yeah.
I want to see it. Where's the box at?
We saw him once or twice, and it disappeared, and I just want to see him hop back in there.
Never to be seen again.
Hey, man, we're going to see him again. I promise you. At some point, we're going to see Veigar again in competitive.
I hope so.
I think it's like a guarantee.
I think he's not a bad champion. I think in the hands of if I had to play against the box in a competitive match, I would ban Veigar every time. He's pretty scary on that champion.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so then Dignitas, they've got to maybe find some champions to work for them. Maybe funnel farm onto a solo laner instead of onto QDPie so that person can make some more plays. What about Coast? Is it just play more the same? Get a group of 4 that works well, have Zion go off?
Well, it looked like they had a purpose with how they played that game. They grouped really early and started taking turrets, and they kind of cut into Crumbs' farming time. He wasn't able to get up the 45 feral flare stacks this game, and on top of that, Elise was just like right behind Zion Spartan the entire game. They're just moving around as a unit. So instead of just falling behind in farm and not doing anything, he was actually being proactive on the map and I guess forcing Dignitas' hand, which kind of made them do those really bad engages.
Yep. Kobe, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Dig need to do something about the solo lanes, either the Ziggs or targeting Zion Spartan. But they can't have both of those guys doing well because that's when Coast come out with the victories.
All right, well, guys, thank you for your time. We're going to go back and go AFK for 3.5 minutes. But when we come back, it's going to be the decisive Game 3 between Dignitas and Coast in the battle for 5th place. Stay tuned.